this video I will be talking to you about basic equipment needed for two-dimensional needle felting, or this is also sometimes referred to as painting with wool. Let's take a look. First, you will need a needle felting surface. This is to protect your table or your lap and to prevent breaking needles. The cheapest and easiest option when you are just starting out is to use a piece of foam for your needle felting surface. If you continue to needle felt, there are alternative surfaces that can be used, such as specialist brushes, rice-filled cushions and wool mats. However, personally I find that foam works best for 2D needle felting, as it is a nice firm surface that is completely smooth and flat. Next, you will need some needle felting needles. These are specialist needles that have little barbs on the ends that hook and tangle the fibres, felting them together. Needle felting needles come in a range of gauges or thicknesses. For 2D needle felting, you will need a finer, thinner needle. The number given to each type of needle refers to the gauge or the thickness of the needle. Also, keep in mind that the bigger the number, the finer the needle will be, and the smaller the number, the thicker the needle will be. My preferred needle for 2D needle felting is a 42 gauge triangular needle. Triangular needles are also sometimes referred to as a regular needle. If you have one, it is also helpful to have a multi-needle tool with the same size needles in to speed up the felting process. However, if you are just starting out and want to see if you like 2D needle felting, you can just use one needle. It is also worth mentioning that it is possible to break needles, especially when you are starting out, so it is a good idea to buy a few needles if you can. You will also need some leather finger protectors. As a beginner, it is likely that you will stab the fingers that are holding your work. Needle felting needles are very sharp and it really hurts, so it is best to give these fingers some protection. As a minimum, you will need one for your thumb and one for your index finger on your non-dominant hand. Having said this, when doing 2D needle felting, it does make it a little harder to work with finger protectors on, but when you are just starting out, it will protect your fingers, so it's worth seeing how you get on wearing them. You may also find it useful to have some sharp scissors to snip away any excess fibre. You will also need some fibre that is suited to 2D needle felting. These tend to be fibres that are finer, such as merino or corriedale, that has been carded like this or combed into a top like this. And finally, as you are going to be creating a 2D picture, you will need some fabric to act as a backing. Fabrics made from natural fibres such as linen or wool felt work well for this. I will cover backing fabrics in more detail and how to check they are suitable for 2D needle felting in an additional video. As an optional extra, you may also need pencils or pens to draw your design onto your fabric. This is all you need to get started. If you would like to understand fibres and needles in more detail, please download my free Fibre and Needles guide. You will find a link to this in the description. To ensure you do not miss future informational videos or tutorials, please subscribe to my channel. You can also come and join the Flock's needle felting community on Facebook. There is a link to this in the description. I hope that this has been helpful. If you have any questions, please pop these in the comments.